between the South African Department of Science and Technology and the University of Basel. Now, the workshop and the business development programs are designed to make a real impact on participants' entrepreneurial careers, also encouraging and enabling them to drive their projects and business ideas forward towards becoming, of course, successful companies. Well, joining us in studio, we're very pleased to have welcomed Ms. Senisha Moonsamy, who is the head of development for TIA and Sakhile Dhlamini, who is one of the young African black achievers whose pitch made it all the way to being a finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, Senisha, let's start with you. Tell us all about this great project. How did it come about and why?
Okay, so the program has been going for the past 7 years with the University of Basel and the Technology Innovation Agency. We're proud to say that we're transforming the program and growing it for young entrepreneurial development. And by that I mean, as you can see today, we have our own superstar who's 22 years old, and he's been the top innovator in this program.
You know, Sakhile, I want to find out from you. I mean, congratulations, first of all. We're always talking about the lack of information or what, you know, who actually has access to this type of information when embarking on such projects. How did you know about this project?
To be honest, I'm based in San Francisco. I went to education that side, my tertiary education, and once I graduated, I was really looking at bringing the skills that I had garnered internationally and bringing them back home and using the technology and the lessons that we learned from a Western market and bringing them to address African challenges. So once I graduated, I researched all through the departments of innovations that are taking place in South Africa and in the African continent that I can partner with and actually see my vision and my goals come to fruition.
And how would you identify with those visions, particularly? I mean, you schooled in a different country and you're coming back to equip the South African country with the knowledge that you learned from that side. How are you doing that?
To be honest, it is something that is a challenge. I'm looking at holding the right hands and partnering with the right innovators and people that are actually excited about moving forward. I was based in Silicon Valley in San Francisco for 4 years, and that mindset shift that I had, the one aspect that I realized was my connectivity to the internet. Having access to the global digital library really gave me an edge that I could see from my experience growing up in South Africa as a young man and being able to view the world globally and being able to partner with other African countries that we don't take much cognizance of. As someone that is, I'm extremely Pan-African. I really believe that we have the expertise to grow forward to the next level. You know,
Senisha, that is so recommendable because we're always hearing about these young professionals that are trained overseas that never come back to bring the skills in the country. So is your project encouraging such that you take these learners abroad but you bring them back to reskill the country?
Yes, and I think it's very important that to grow strong entrepreneurial culture in South Africa, which we don't have. We recently looked at, if you look at in South Africa, not many young kids get an opportunity to go abroad. As you can see with Sakhile, it's just a wow. So we've been doing a number of these programs at the Technology Innovation Agency, taking young people abroad, giving them the right skills so they could come back and grow the ecosystem in South Africa for technology and innovation.
So Nisha, talk to us further about those the benefits of this program, particularly to our youth who actually form the highest bracket of unemployment in the country.
Correct. So, I mean, if you look at it, it's Youth Month. We're very excited. It's the first year. We have about 6 out of the 10 candidates that are all under 30 years old. We have a number of initiatives, like I said, and one of them is the BRICS Summit. South Africa will be identified 2 young entrepreneurs that will be competing against Brazil, China, India and Russia in September of this year in South Africa as well. So we do a number of these kind of initiatives.
Sakhile, I want to know all about your pitch that took you all the way to the finals. How different was your pitch? And I'm going to ask Senisha the same thing on why they decided to select you.
One aspect that I really focused on when we are in the technological space, we like to focus on the technicals and the theory, but when you're pitching to a team as experienced as Senisha, you need to focus on the social aspect and the business acumen. I really believe that the technology is a tool. So it needs to
be a workable model.
100%. Technology is a tool to achieve a goal. If you don't articulate properly the goal that you're trying to achieve, it doesn't really matter how sophisticated the technology is. So my pitch was geared towards, as Senisha said, the high unemployment rates and lack of education in our country. I'm addressing the widespread lack of internet. I really believe that if someone has has the ability to send a resume, reach out to somebody and say, hey, Sakhile, I love your project, let's get in contact. You can't do that if you don't have the appropriate resources. And with social media and all these other platforms, people are accessible. Celebrities, business people, LinkedIn, all these other aspects are accessible through the internet.
Okay, Senisha, in just closing, how do then these projects become a reality that, that once the participants or the beneficiaries have gone through them?
So TIA funds the technology development aspect, and then further to that, we handhold you in terms of supporting your business for sustainable businesses. I think what's very, very key is taking high-end innovation in terms of what Sakhile is working with for inclusive innovation for communities that don't have. If there is a second, maybe he could do a quick 1-minute pitch.
Do you want to quickly?
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
The project I'm working with TIA is called YWorld. YWorld is a service that we plan to create. It's a digital application whereby we use blockchain technology and distributed ledger technology to centralize and decentralize the nation, whereby everybody is an individual node. You use your mobile hotspot, ultimately making everybody in the country a mobile internet cafe, whereby you're able to share Wi-Fi with me through your hotspot, but receive payments. Because we're using blockchain, people are able to, through micropayments, receive and interact with each other and verify these transactions.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. So where can people get more information about this project? Very quickly, Senisha, my director is going to kill me.
Not a problem. They can go onto our website, www.tia.org.za.
All right, and you've already selected your 10 for this year, and your entries for next year, when do they open?
They would open around February of next year.
February of next year. So they must just keep looking on the website.
For more information, I'm hosting, with my partners, we're hosting the biggest blockchain conference in Africa. The 14th of July, Sandton Convention Center. Please come one, come all. We're really, really trying to fix the future. And with African youth, anything is possible.
Wow, with those innovative words, thank you so much. I'm sure we would be dying to come and join you. Senisha, thank you so much for this great initiative. That is Senisha Moonsamy, the head of development for TIA, and Sakhile Dhlamini, one of the finalists of the Young Black Achievers Project.